Good morning. It's John Nunberg with W5 Business Coaching, and today we're talking with Mark Bossert of Top Local Lead Generation. Morning, Mark.
Morning, John.
So we've been having an ongoing series talking about what lead generation can do for you, and today's question, Mark, is this. So we've agreed to work together. What role do I, as the client, have to take on in order to make the lead generation program work and be successful?
Sure. So when we start an engagement, we inquire pretty deeply about the processes, the history of the company and what they've used for lead generation in the past, what they have for resources, what they're comfortable with. So, and we have 4 arrows in our quiver that we use out of the many tactics or strategies that you can use for lead generation. There's 4 that we concentrate on. So that starts with content, Facebook ads, reputation management, and we also do lead generation, which is a whole separate thing, which is we actually drive the whole process. So depending on which of those fit your business the best, will depend on how much you actually need to do. So let's look at content. For content creation, an example of which is what we're doing right now, there is some investment on your part as our client to get this expert content created. And we try and make it as easy as possible by doing these Hangouts. The Hangouts are transcribed, they're distributed around the internet on your social media platforms. So you get they're put on your blog, that can become a PDF. There's many ways to repurpose that one-off content creation that establishes you as the leading expert in your field, or at least in your area. And so there is some investment in time thinking around that. If we get into the Facebook ads, there is some effort in terms of who's your target market and what would be the best offer to give that target market. So again, that's knowing your business, knowing who you have done business with in the past. Reputation management, there's effort in terms of asking your clients to review your business on a consistent level. And on the lead generation side of things, where we're driving the entire process, basically, then it's up to you to really make sure that your sales process is dialed in, because we deliver the phone calls, those are recorded. We have exact tracking of every step of the process up to the phone call. And if your guys on your end aren't doing their job well, then you're going to be spending money on leads that aren't converting, but it's up to you to make sure that conversion takes place. So your sales process has to be dialed in. So that kind of synopsizes all the 4 channels that we use.
Sure. The classic case of pouring water into a bucket that's got holes in it.
Yeah, if somebody's busy and they don't want to answer the phone, or, we've had all kinds of different examples where people's process isn't refined, and so we'll help work that out. I mean, it just depends what the process is. We've got some pretty sophisticated methods of driving what that, what is it that a target market's going to want? What are they going to pay you back with their attention with? What's going to attract them? What's going to move? In the copywriting days, it was, what's going to move that somnambulistic slug off of the couch to actually give you some money.
Yeah. Now, in my experience, Mark, many times the first thing that needs to be established when you're taking on one of these kinds of campaigns is the quality of the data, the quality of your data collection process. So you talked about the fact that you record all the phone calls, etc. How many of your clients are good at recording, collecting, and analyzing their conversion data?
They're not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the first thing you can do to help yourself in lead generation is to become better at knowing what your conversion rate is, so that you know in which direction you need to make corrections if going down the road, if you have a lead generation problem or a conversion problem. And if you don't have good data, there's no way that you can manage that.
Yeah, if you're going to build a lead conversion funnel of whatever type, you need to have the right tools. You have to have the right training so that you know what it is that you're looking for.
Yeah.
The data is there. There's mountains of data. How to make sense out of it does take a little bit of experience. It's not terribly difficult. It's something that if you're doing it every day, it becomes second nature, because it becomes obvious what's working and what isn't.
Sure.
But if it's on the side of the desk, on top of everything else you got to do, and I'm going to devote 2% of my brain power to making this go, it's going to always be a real fight, a difficult situation. That's been my experience with my business, honestly, as well as working with other companies.
I read an interesting blog post by a sales trainer expert who said it's remarkable how so many people say their number one goal or priority is sales, as an example, and yet when you assess how much of your time, how much of your effort is going against your number one priority, there's a mismatch.
Yeah, well, the same with leads. I mean, there's out of hundreds of companies that we've worked with in the last 9 years, there's been a couple who were like ruthlessly focused on leads, and they were very successful. The rest said they were and weren't.
Yeah.
Truth of it.
Well, that's awesome. Well, today we've been talking with Mark Bossert of Top Local Lead Generation. If you're interested in getting more leads in your business and understanding the lead generation process, I urge you to give Mark a call. You see his number there in the screen, or Mark at toplocalrankings.ca. Cheers.
.com.
Pardon me, I got that wrong. Toplocalrankings.com. Got that?
Thanks, John.
.com. Cheers, man.